I mean, yeah, hopefully we stay that way. I'm not really 100% sure what happened. Um, I just connected my iPad and was getting ready to transition to live and start the Cosmic Crucible, and computer just said it encountered an error and had to restart. So hopefully we haven't had something like that happen in a while, and hopefully we're gonna be just fine. Okay, so Crucible time. Good times to be had as always. Interesting. Dormammu and Super Scroll. So Sopper, how's everything going on your end, buddy? I need to get caught up on your videos. I need to sit down this afternoon when I'm done streaming and watch them. Um, so that is also on my to-do list. Oh, nice. How's it going? Let's see. How do I want to tackle this? Obvious. Let's just take out. Let's just grab these guys with Orcus real fast. Yeah, it's a solid team. Yeah, I've totally 100% turned around on Ares. He was one of the ones where I wasn't sure about, and now that I've got enough gear into him and enough abilities unlocked and things of that nature, I'm very happy with him. Ah, nice. So I was able to take my uh I mean you said you're coring your Kahori or however her whatever her name is. I mean, if your other absolute A Force members aren't in decent shape, I mean, might be worth bringing them up since they're doing a shattered dimension, and that absolute A Force is going to be required. Oh yeah, and I mean with Blade going now, because you did express some excitement, said you need blades, so maybe Night Stalkers are going to be the way to go. Oh well, then yeah, Night Stalkers it is. They're great. They're a great team. They really are. So I'm guessing we're probably going to see Oath in the next PvP pass here in a week, and then they'll do Man Thing because yeah, she came out before Man Thing, right? It was Blade, Oath, then Man Thing. That was the order. Because if I have the order wrong, then swap which passes those two will drop into. But Yeah, GLs really do need all of them, don't they? Um, it's one of those things that whenever I had a GL in the pipeline, um, it was one of those deals where it's I had 120 saved up at all times and just sitting there until the unlock was done. And then anything I got beyond that, I could slap that onto another character. But I had to hit 140 before I would apply one to anybody. The last thing I ever wanted to be was short of a Zeta for a GL unlock. Okay. Well, I don't see how I'm going to get by these guys without bringing in annihilators of my own. I don't see that being a thing. So we'll just do this, I think. Probably be okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely if you have to give up one, you definitely want to give up those two because the others kind of make her what she is. Those two just add a little extra oomph. Oh yeah, no, you definitely want all of them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, when you have to sacrifice, you have to pick and choose. You have to pick and choose your battles about what you're going to upgrade and what you're not, and then I mean you'll get them all eventually. Gore farming. Um, my gore. Let's see. Ultimus is triple diamond. I think I'm only. Yeah, I'm double on gladiator here. Should be three on gore as well. I did put my second. Well, so funny story. I hopped on to play the other night and just to make sure I'd used all my raid attempts. And they had a three diamond. I can't remember Thanos or Gore maybe in the snow globe shop, so I bought that. Um, and then they had a three diamond Thanos in my dark currency shop, so I bought that. They're definitely worthy of it. But yeah, so annihilators, Everybody but Surfer is 3 diamond. And since Surfer is the odd man out in every single combination, um, I don't really feel pressed to get him up in any higher than he currently is. Okay, how am I gonna tackle this shit? Mirror it with. Yeah, it's definitely the same thing. How do I want to tackle this? Do I want to extreme Logan it maybe? Or do I do this with Hive Mind? You know what? I'm going to extreme Logan it. Because I think I'm going to end up having to use Hive Mind on their Orcus team in the first node. With Super Scroll, because I mean, I can't take. I don't think I can take Extreme Logan up against that because it's so much anti mutant stuff, but this should work out okay, I would imagine. Right? Right? You can do that. It's only a 1 diamond Black Knight. I mean, well, so you mentioned your Mystic nodes earlier. So I was going up against those Mystic nodes with 4 Night Stalkers, and then so I had Blade, I had Man Thing, I had Agatha, I had Moon Knight. Did not have Oath, and was not able to clear the nodes very easily. Then I went and I got Oath and got her up and running, and she made clearing Mystic nodes in raid. It all of a sudden went from a thing to where I might be able to do it to I was 100% of the time just full simming it. So they're all important. They all add a piece to the puzzle, but yeah, definitely give some love to all of them, especially once you have Blade. Agatha's kind of your power hitter. Yeah, Oath and her debuffs just add a lot to the puzzle. Yeah, raids. I wasn't having a good time in raids until I got Oath. So it's probably one of those deals you need the whole tamale to Sorry, yeah, my for whatever reason my so the chat that I monitor on my phone for whatever reason is locked up. It's got me kind of puzzled. I'm trying to fix it. Okay. This team we might have to two-shot. But let's try. I mean, if you're worried about, yeah, let's just grab Hive Mind, I guess. We'll see how it goes. I need to get Carnage and Gwenom into higher gear. So here's a little. It has me kind of annoyed, but here's a little thing. As it comes to the Annihilators in the arena, as counterintuitive as it may seem or may be, um, I think it actually benefits you to have a weaker Thanos than your opponent because his rain fire ability can absolutely positively shift the whole course of the fight. And if your Thanos is stronger, you're not going to get your rain fire ability as easy or as fast as somebody who's weaker. And I have watched that fight go from me kicking ass to all of a sudden their Thanos gets rain fire and I'm now losing. Or in a position where I now have to recover because that did so much. It cleared all the debuffs. It just sets you back so far. So unless you can get your Thanos in there, or your Apocalypse in there to do his ultimate on their Thanos and push him past the threshold, because it's like 50% health or whatever, right? So you get him past that threshold with Apocalypse, Rain Fire won't trigger. But if you're not in a situation where that's going to happen, your weaker Thanos getting its Rain Fire first can actually win you the fight. It's a little obnoxious. But then, of course, your Rain Fire can also trigger their Rain Fire, so there's a chance at balance. But it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. I wasn't having many problems punching up with Annihilators. I think, honestly, the big difference maker character with Annihilators winning or losing or whatever, I think if your Gladiator's a pain in the ass to kill, then you're gonna have a lot more holds. People aren't gonna knock you down quite as much. If your Gladiator takes, because 3 diamonds, what is his health pool? It's nuts. His health pool is crazy in diamonds. Where is it? Here? No, here. I mean, he's just under 10 million health. It's pretty insane. And then he's got so many ways to heal himself. Yeah, his Thanos' dance is a little too inconsistent for my liking. Um, and there's certain characters that just seem to shut it down no matter what. Like Super Scroll, if he's, assuming he's out of stealth or whatever, if he's your second target, you just won't continue the chain a lot of the times with Thanos, and it's kind of obnoxious. Okay. Alpha Flight is always one of these teams that I don't want to say hate, but hate might actually be pretty accurate. Just not a good time. Not a good time. I need to take a look at my defense. I could probably afford to put some other stuff down. Although I do feel like I have struck. I know exactly where you are. Yeah, the never like there's like nine or something Ghost Riders of either Robbie or classic Ghost Rider, and it's just not a good time. It's just not fun, and especially because they can just like nuke people out and they don't get to come back. Yeah. I think I think there's a huge pile of them in the legendary nodes too. Because I remember being scared for my old man Logan. What were we doing? Superior 6. Let's just bring these four. Oh my, really? Their Morgan just one shot your classic? Well, I mean, their Wolverine on Alpha Flight here just took out my classic and my Apocalypse. So here we're gonna do this. We're gonna mirror. We're gonna mirror and then we'll clean it up. Yeah, they're super boosted in DD7. I think their health pool is like tripled. Oh, congratulations. Mega Gold Orb for that, right? Well, that's what Mega Gold Orbs give. I had one Mega Gold Orb where I got 25 million a while back, and now every other Gold Orb just pales in comparison. You know? That's actually something I'm a little surprised that they haven't introduced yet, like a larger training orb thing. That's not easy to get. It's a reward for a thing that you do somewhere else. But yeah, it is a little surprising that that isn't a thing. All right, looks like mirror match was the way to go. So I'll have to remember that. That would be pretty sweet, man. That would be pretty sweet. Okay, so here we go. Night Stalkers. Agatha's pretty stacked. They're missing Man Thing, so they've got Agatha, or not Agatha, but Morgan in there instead. And, pretty strong blade. Well, yeah. I mean, all that sounds great, but, like, the people who would be capable of doing that don't need the training materials. See, I think that's the problem that they have with how do they, how do you offer something like that to people and then
what kind of barriers do you put up to it? I think training materials and gold need to be buffed. There needs to be more of it in the game, and needs to be easier to get, because this getting people to level 100, and it takes thousands of training materials and tens of millions of gold, is it's a huge hurdle. Is it enough to make people stop playing? I don't know, maybe, but it's definitely daunting. It's definitely daunting. All right, and that's another Cosmic Crucible completed. I I think I legitimately I am in the camp that that stuff needs to be easier. Oh, they won. They won. Bummer. Oh well, that sort of thing happens, and I don't really care about Cosmic Crucible. I will be more excited for Cosmic Crucible when it is done. Um, did, 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 I'll be much more excited when it's done. This Goblin Orb. Um, is it like the gold skin thing that they've been doing? Where is it? Oh no, it's the skin that they showed out or shelled out for the I think for the level 100 event. I think that's the one that they did where it's like a sin. It's a sin skin. Goes it came out when Mephisto came out, roughly. I think that's what that skin is. Um, so that's probably a $20 purchase, I think, to get that skin. But it's a fantastic skin. It's pretty awesome. It's definitely one I would get myself. We'll think about it, because so yesterday I just wasn't. By the time it was time to do Cosmic Crucible, I just didn't have the opportunity to sit down and do it, and I forgot that we had a milestone. So I'm only going to be able to get 2/3 of the milestone points. I think Bucky might be stuck, honey. We can hear one of our kitchen drawers being batted open, and my big fluffy cat Bucky, the black and white one, he'll show up on stream every now and again. He will get into. We have like I don't know if it's called a Lazy Susan or whatever, but there's a spinning rack underneath one of our cabinets that he likes to get into. That's where we keep a lot of pots, and he'll pull the door open with his paw, but he, for whatever reason, can't push his way back out. So we'll hear it smack, 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 which is what we were hearing. It was loud enough. Was it Bucky?
Under the sink.
Under the sink this time. Bucky, stop getting yourself put into places you can't get out of. I don't think they need to break the game. I think it's one of those quality of life things, Sopper. I legitimately think it's a quality of life thing they need to look at. Like, how do we make the game more accessible? And I think the easier it is for people to do the basic things, and I think the basic things are leveling your characters, leveling and gearing your characters. If you have a path to progression that seems, of course it's always going to be okay. Um, so I was thinking about doing some war attacks, but I think Bones and every other officer in the guild would probably kick me right in the taint if I took out any one of these 6 shield officer areas. I think I would get punched. I think I would get punched right in the left nut. Not that I don't deserve it, but I would definitely bring on the wrath of the officer corps, were I to dive in and attack this, because this is like, hey, come on, like our lower guys should just eat all those for breakfast. The fact that they're yielding that many points to us, it's both curious and concerning, because it could very well be a trap. It could be a thing where they want everybody to wade in and just clear all those out and, you know, waste 60 teams or 60 characters, because if any decently geared character will be able to one-shot all of those guys. And then, like, the rest of their decks are just stacked. Like, is that what's going on? Could be, but I have not seen something like this in I was in a starter guild, like just randomly found a guild to join and was seeing this kind of shit back in the day. Haven't seen that sort of thing in a very long time. Not in a wildly long time. I have not seen any mention or talk about compensation coming to the community for the removal of Battle World. Though I think there needs to be something for the bait and switch is what I was calling it the other day. The bait and switch of, here's all these characters to get going, to get up and running for this, blah blah blah. Here's Shadow King, you know, you'll need him, and then all of a sudden they're yanking the event out because they're not happy apparently with us and our damage. They're not happy with a varying amount of other things. And then so they put out a post saying that more or less the last section of Battle World, the last, you know, since launch till they pulled it yesterday, that Battle World was more or less the beta. We were doing the beta test, even though none of the other previous posts about it called it anything of that nature. So a lot of people probably rushed things that they normally wouldn't have to get their teams up and running, and then they said nope, you're done, son, you're done, and they yanked it. So, and it's not going to be back until sometime early next year, which could be as late as March. So I don't know if they're doing a compensation package. I haven't seen one way or the other, but this is one of the few times where I will out and out say, for a game that especially gives us wild amounts of compensation for far less grievous things than that, I think they definitely owe the player base something. I think we're definitely deserving of something. I'm going to just knock out these last couple raid attempts that I have, and then Sam will be home here soon. So I'm going to just, you know, this is going to be a short Cosmic Crucible thing. I will probably be back sometime, hopefully, in the next little while. It's going to depend on my brother. To play that new operation in Space Marine, I figured out how to get it unlocked. You just had to select it. It was warning you not to do it unless you've done the campaign. It wasn't locked behind me needing to do the campaign. It was just a warning, like, hey, if you didn't do the campaign, you want to do the campaign before you play this. All I had to do was select it, and it gave me the option to unlock it. So now it's playable. So he's going to want to do that today, and I'm going to want to do that today. So I do have a hockey game tonight. He's out on the West Coast, so we might push it later. But whenever him and I sit down to do it, we will stream it. And then I can confirm the Cyberpunk update, because it wasn't showing up in the normal updates, but when I went to launch the game, it triggered the update. So I will I'll also probably dive into that maybe tomorrow. Dive into that and see if we can find some of these new cars, these new customization options and things of that nature. Just to see, because it's a nice you know, especially for a game that they said, oh, we're done updating it, for them to put out that kind of a customization pack, and apparently they outsourced it, so maybe there'll be even more stuff coming. Yeah, I want to dive into all that new stuff because Cyberpunk, when it launched, very, very, very rough shape. Probably the greatest turnaround redemption arc of a game since No Man's Sky. Because I remember the hype for No Man's Sky, then I remember the disappointment that turned out to be No Man's Sky, but then what No Man's Sky ended up becoming was pretty special. I ended up sinking a lot of hours into No Man's Sky when it hit the Xbox. I mean, honey, if he could hang on for a minute, I was going to get him. But if you're taking him, it's cool with me. Yeah, so sorry that this is turning out to be a little bit shorter. Of course, war, as you saw, I'm not using attacks on a security officer wall, which I was going to do some. And then Battle World's gone, so that was another, 20, 25 minutes of content that we would do a day on this. It isn't fucking there anymore. It's very annoying. It's very annoying to me. So I need to decide how I'm going to start filling up more time. Getting in these 2-hour streams a day just from the Xbox has been great, but I do kind of feel like I think I am going to download the Old Republic MMO and start playing that again. I mean, I could start playing World of Warcraft again, but that's a game that when I was playing it back in the day, I was far too hardcore about it. Strict rating schedule, gear requirements, the whole things. And we saw success, but it started to feel like a full-time job after a while. Yes, I do have Emma. My Emma's 4 stars, I think. I thought I posted it in the Discord, but maybe I didn't. I got out of her, out of the orbs that they give us for free and have been on a daily basis. I can't remember what they're called. I'll go look after this raid battle's done. But I got an 80 shard pull for her the other day. Oh, good. Well, that means you're spending a lot of time here, Sopper, and I appreciate that a lot. If I made your Twitch recap, that means thank you for spending this kind of time here with me, man. I appreciate it a lot. But yes, so this orb, this one right here, I got an 80 shard pull on Saturday. No, maybe it wasn't from this one because there are no 80s. I got an 80. Was it here? Did I get an 80 shard from here? I might have gotten an 80 from here, but it was the free one that built up. Like I didn't spend. Yeah. So I got a 0.54% drop and got 80. So I had her at 3 stars, but that let me push her up to just over 4. And now we're getting a bunch of shards from other things for her. So, but yeah, I think she's definitely. Yeah, see, she caught up to Ancient One with that 80 pull. Womprat, well, if there is anybody in that list I would want to see at number 1, it is our good buddy, the Lost Womprat. Such a good fucking guy. Such a good fucking guy. Cannot say enough good about him. And that Dop guy, he's pretty good too. I don't know if I know reality skewed games, but Scribe's fucking awesome. I definitely feel like looking at that list, it's one of these things. It's not like the other. And with me right there. Oh, it's Ranger. Yeah, I know of him. I never caught his stuff. I don't know why. It's not that I don't want to catch his stuff. I know who he is. Now that you say Ranger, I know who Ranger is, but yeah, I haven't. I guess I'm a piece of shit. But yeah, I think I might start in on the Old Republic because that's a game you can play at your own pace. And do like a Sith character and a Jedi character and whatnot. And it's free. It's free to play.
It's been free to play for a long time, but then they have a microtransaction store to support it. Well, I mean, I know Womprat's putting in a lot of time because he's trying to get through the monetization process for YouTube, which is such a giant pain in the ass. It's a lot harder than it should be. But their reach is pretty big. Their reach is very, very big. So I mean, it's probably an appropriate amount of barrier, or an appropriate barrier to get through, to get to the monetization. But Jesus, it's a lot. You got a viral video. Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice. That's amazing, dude. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, those kind of guides are important. That was some of the stuff I wanted to branch out into. Start making guide videos and things like that before Galaxy Heroes went to shit. And now I don't feel like I'm at a point in any game where I really can sit there and be like, this is how you should build this and this is how you should build that. Because Marvel Strike Force more or less tells you how to build your characters. If you have a question about, oh, what do I need to do with Ancient One? Well, you hop into here in the Ancient One, and your gear, the gear that she gets is the gear that she gets, but it's this sort of thing. What do I do? Well, you hit your Jarvis button, and Jarvis tells you what most people are doing. So, there's not really a whole lot of ways to build characters in this game or to build them out to make them different. Three-star proving grounds. Gas is the way to go, huh? Gas is God. He's just one of those guys, right? Well, yeah, but I mean, you showed the team. Yeah, that's the thing. Is you took in Gas in the 501st. I mean, that's the thing that people want to see. They want to know. They want to be able to look it up. They're going to try it with whatever team they want to try it with first, and then if they get lucky, fantastic. They get lucky and they pull it off. But then if that's not the case and they do a Google search, well, hey, how do I get 3 stars on Bane? And they find your video and they see it's Gas. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, and that's the other thing is where I was kind of seeing a place where I could fit in doing videos like that, and I think it's exactly where you're at, is, love Scribe, love Arnold, love Bit Dynasty, but those guys have pretty exceptional accounts. They're not, and I know Scribe has either I haven't caught a Scribe stream in a few days, but I know he was saying he was going to start a new thing to kind of reflect what the current journey is for a new player, which is how I started my channel. That's what I was doing. I was testing out the new player experience from 0 to 85 to see how fast it is. Yeah, but that's where you find yourself, Sop. You're in a place where you're probably more reflective of an average player of Galaxy Heroes, where you're at with roster wise and things of that nature. So that makes you, in my opinion, a more valuable resource. You're a realistic look at what, hey, this is what I was able to do this for. It's probably relevant to 80% of the Galaxy Heroes player base. Gas. Unless you're pretty new in the game, like sub a year, you're probably not without Gas. Like most people probably have him at this point. When I started playing Galaxy Heroes, he was like, I was in a guild where he was winning territory wars for us. So yeah, he's a very common character. He's a common character where he used to be not so common.
he's very common and very easy to obtain. Most people have him. So that means, oh, hey, this guy did it with gas. I can do it with gas. Yeah, if you're a focused player, that's kind of what I've always. That's when hyperdrive bundles started becoming a thing. People started new accounts to take advantage of that because it was like, here's 2 GLs for more or less $10 each. They started a new account, they got rolling, they had those GLs right off the bat or as quick as they could. But then they were able to really focus in because the GLs got them other requirements for other things. And so they just focused and focused and focused. You could see accounts like that popping up once hyperdrive bundles got introduced. Yeah, dude, AP. Yeah, he helped me a lot. Him and Bit and Scribe and Arnold. Like, if I was looking for videos to help me out with something when I was first playing that game, those were the names I would look for. Yeah, he's I'm pretty. Oh, sorry. Hey, sorry. Sam is home, guys. I got to get going. Honey, Sammy's home. They're honking the horn. So sorry, he's not supposed to be here for a couple of minutes yet, but he got here early today. So I'm sorry, guys. We got to go get the kid. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.